I recently picked up the Bullet Journal Pocket, and I was curious to discover if it would replace my full-size bullet journal. I've been bullet journaling for years. I've tried a variety of different notebooks, including Moleskines, Baron Fig Confidants, Full Focus Planners, and even Cal Newport's Time Blocking Journal, and yet I always come back to the official Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal. I think it has everything that makes for a good planner, and I think there are 6 characteristics of a good planner. It has to be durable, it has to be portable, it has to offer a little bit of structure, but also leave room for flexibility. It has to be a planning system that works for you or that accommodates your own approach. It has to be something that you do consistently, or what's the point? And if possible, it has to be enjoyable to use, because if it's not enjoyable to use, you are less likely to do it consistently. The Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journal fits all of those characteristics for me. It's well made, it's durable enough to survive months of getting used and tossed into bags and backpacks. The A5 size is small enough to be portable, and yet it's large enough to accommodate my monthly and weekly and daily planning, as well as meeting notes, my habit tracker, project planning pages, and everything else that ends up in here. And I add the pen loop too, so I am always ready to go. The notebook is also enjoyable to use. It has 120 GSM paper, and that is my favorite all-around paper. It's good for pencils, pens, even fountain pens. I like the flexibility of the full dot grid pages, which are good not only for bullet journaling, but also just general writing. They're helpful when I'm making my grids for habit trackers. I know it seems like a little thing, but I also like that the pages come pre-numbered, because I used to write those in myself in other notebooks. And there are a couple other conscientious touches. There's a generous pocket in the back. It has multiple ribbons, has tearaway pages. You get some stickers that you can use to organize your pages. I never use those, and so I don't really have any to show you. Most importantly, this notebook accommodates my own hybrid approach that integrates the basics of bullet journaling with a planning system that I learned from the best-selling author Donald Miller. And I've been using that system for maybe 10 years. And that system is hands down my favorite planning approach, and I've seen it work really well for a number of other writers and musicians and artists. In fact, if you would like me to do a video on that approach, let me know in the comments. These full-size bullet journals aren't cheap. They're $32, but you're getting quite a bit. It's hardcover, 206 pages. For even the most diligent bullet journaler, this should last quite a while. My problem, though, was that my bullet journals were still lasting too long, because I was still not as consistent as I wanted to be. It's embarrassing for me to say, but I've had this bullet journal going for almost a year. That said, I wasn't looking to change. This notebook ticks all the boxes for me. That lack of consistency was obviously my fault. Not looking to change, and then I saw the Bullet Journal Pocket, and I started using this 2 weeks ago, and I haven't missed a day. It's becoming my paper brain in a way that the full-size bullet journal never did, and I'm even taking it with me on vacation. This carries over a lot of my favorite elements from the big bullet journal, but there are also a couple other elements that make this an even better fit for me. And so I'm going to give you a tour of the Bullet Journal Pocket. Looking at the notebook itself, it has a soft but durable flex cover, comes in 3 colors, comes in the black, comes in this yellow, and it comes in a blue. I like the yellow best, in part because I like the color, but also because I don't have any other notebooks this color. And so when I see this bright yellow on my desk, it reminds me that, oh, I need to update it, or I need to bring it with me. The notebook is just slightly smaller than A6. It's 5.7 inches by 4.1 inches, but look at this. It orients vertically. You open it, and you have the same available working space as an A5 bullet journal, the full-size A5 notebook. And I'm not saying that this design choice is revolutionary by any means, but it's still somehow very clever, at least to me, clever in like an, oh yeah, why did I never think of this kind of way. When you first open it, you have some graphics. This is the sweet spot of your what and your why. And then there's also a QR code that's going to take you to the Bullet Journal Pocket page on the Leuchtturm website. From there, you open it, you see written by. This is where I put my name, my start date, my end date, and I might put an email in there or something. And then the first official page here is labeled intention. In the bullet journaling ecosystem, intentions are different than goals or resolutions or even plans. Goals are the what we saw in the graphic earlier here, and then the intentions are the why. Donald Miller's system has what he calls a life theme, and that's what I put on my intention page. From there, next comes the index. This is the table of contents for the notebook, and I'll splice in some B-roll so you can see what this looks like. And then from there, you get 45 more numbered spreads. The last 8 sheets are perforated, so you can tear it out. User error. User error, not their fault. It also comes with the stickers that I mentioned that help you organize your page. Again, I don't use these, so I usually just throw them away. The paper isn't as heavy as the bullet journal. It's 80 GSM instead of 120 GSM. But that 80 GSM is the same as the non-bullet journal Leuchtturm 1917 notebook. It's a paper I use a lot. It's a very, very nice paper. I also don't know if you can see this, but there are on each page some subtle guidelines, I would say, some extra dots. I'll mark them here so you can see them, that help you organize your page. And these come in handy for me because my daily setup is in 2 columns. Another clever choice was to replace that full-size pocket in the back with this little card slot. I'm glad it doesn't have the full pocket because I think it would make it bulkier than I would want. Other things I like about the bullet journal pocket, I like that I fill this up faster. I feel like I'm making progress, even as I fully use up pretty much all of the available space. This is also sturdy yet lightweight, which is great because I bring it everywhere. Obviously, this is very pocketable. If you want, you can carry it in your pocket. I usually just throw it in the top pouch of my backpack when I go to a coffee shop or run errands. I have been 100% consistent with this notebook since I started it 14 days ago. I haven't missed a day because I'm bringing it everywhere. And as I said, I'm even bringing it on vacation. I found at first that I missed the ribbons from the full-size journal as place markers, but I actually would not want them in here. Instead, what I do is I use book darts to mark my 2-week habit tracker, my 2-week all tasks list, and my current daily planner page. And you can see here this is my current notebook, that you can barely, it adds no extra bulk. You can barely see them, but it's very easy to flip to where you need to be. When I was thinking about how to describe the bullet journal pocket, the phrase that I came up with is the sweet spot. This is the sweet spot. It's the perfect size for me. I bring it everywhere. I refer to it constantly, and I can do anything I want in it. It's nice to have the full-size equivalent available, but I find that most days I can do my daily plan on just half a spread, just 1 sheet. With the full-size bullet journal, I have a tendency to overload my days with tasks that I want to do, but I end up getting very few of them done. What I do in the bullet journal pocket is I put all of those tasks in a 2-week all-task spread just to get them out of my brain and captured somewhere. And then I put a more realistic number of tasks in my daily log. And it has to be more realistic because I'm trying to keep it all to half a spread. I heard someone say that most people overestimate what they can accomplish in a day, but underestimate what they can accomplish in a year. And I think the bullet journal pocket supports a more incremental approach, but it's also an approach that is more realistic and I think much more productive, especially over the long term. I do sometimes use a full spread in here, not so much, at least yet, for a daily plan for a really busy day where I have a lot of tasks, but rather I will put my meeting notes in here or more complicated project planning. I used it to plan out all of my B-roll shots for a video I made, and it was perfect to just have that with me. When I reflect on why bullet journaling has become such a phenomenon, I think the most reasonable and easy explanation is that it works. It's analog and people are hungry for that. It gets tasks out of our heads and onto paper, and it's flexible. It provides some basic structure, but then it allows people to customize the notebook to work for them. After years of trial and error, I have a system that works for me, that hybrid approach. Now, after years of trying many different notebooks, I think I found the perfect one for me. To the question, will this replace my full-size bullet journal? The answer is it already has. I'm not going back. This is my new bullet journal. I'm curious, if you are a bullet journaler, have you tried the Bullet Journal Pocket? And if so, what are your impressions so far? And if you haven't tried it yet, do you think it could work for you? I actually am going to go. We are hopping on an airplane in just a few hours. We have a 24-day trip to Europe coming up, 5 different countries. I actually have a video coming out in a couple of weeks about my analog travel setup for this trip. I try to keep it as minimalist as possible, which is not easy for me. I tend to be a bit of a maximalist. And so if you're not yet, subscribe to the channel and you can see that video when it comes out. Consider liking this video if it's been useful or entertaining for you. No matter what, I'm grateful that you are here with me today, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.